Hey guys, so today I'm doing a video that I've never done before, and that is sharing some winter recommendations. Honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of winter, but I think having some nice comfort books, movies, TV shows, food, it all helps me get through the colder months. The first thing I'm going to start with is books. If you guys watch my vlogs, you would know that I am absolutely obsessed with this book. It's called Educated and it's by Tara Westover. I honestly had to restrict myself because I just smashed out this book so quickly. Basically, the story follows a girl who grew up in a Mormon family, but a really strict Mormon family, and basically it just follows her journey to higher education and details some very interesting and heartwarming stories about her life and her family and everything like that. I mean, it's a #1 New York Times bestseller for a reason. This book is just absolutely amazing and I can't recommend it enough as a winter read. So the book that I started after that one is this one. It's called The Nickel Boys and it's by Colson Whitehead. Now, I have to say, I got this book because when I picked it up, I saw on the back, right there, Barack Obama said, "A necessary read." And I was like, you know what? If Barack Obama says it's a necessary read, it's a necessary read. I have to say, I definitely don't love this book as much as I love Educated. I'm about halfway through the book, well, over halfway through the book now. This story follows a Native American boy who gets sent to this school, but it's kind of like juvenile detention. And I think it's a really good story in the fact that I'm learning a lot about the treatment of Native Americans throughout history that I didn't really have any idea about. So I do like the fact that I'm learning what went on through reading this book, but I have to say it's just not that much of a page turner. It's a really good story, it genuinely is, but it's just not as gripping as what Educated is, but still highly recommend and definitely interesting to learn about Native American history and their treatment throughout history. Next, I want to talk about my 2 favorite podcasts, and the first is She's on the Money, which is an Australian podcast that talks about personal finance and improving your financial situation, and I just love the podcast. It motivates me so much. I'm learning so much about money, about investments. They have this series on the podcast which is called Money Diaries, and basically they get a viewer in and you hear about their money story, what they do with their money, how much money they have, and I really learn a lot from other people's financial situations and what they're doing and how they're increasing their personal wealth, and I just love that particular series within the podcast, so highly recommend checking that out if you are interested in personal finance, or even if you're not, I'm sure this podcast will make you interested in it. And then the second one is probably a podcast, I mean, it's the biggest podcast in the world. It's Call Her Daddy. I have literally been obsessed with this podcast for years. I absolutely love it, and I think the way that the host Alex Cooper talks about sex is really empowering for women, and I just love that she's able to talk about everything so openly and honestly and says things that maybe you wouldn't even talk about with your best friends. So really like that podcast, and it's really funny as well. So it definitely brings sex and comedy together. The next thing that I want to talk about is my favorite YouTube channels, because I know in the colder months, personally for me, I am on YouTube a lot more and I'm always searching for new channels to watch. I just want to share with you the YouTubers that I love and those people that I'm literally looking for their videos every week. I am waiting for a new video. The first one is going to be Moya, and she is just such an inspiring person. I really like her vlog style. It's all very vintage and just cool, cozy vibes. She's currently living in London and she's just sharing her London diaries, and before that she was living in Dublin sharing her Dublin diaries, and basically it's just literally her diary of coming into adulthood and the world and just like everything that she's up to and stuff like that. It's really fun. It's all really light-hearted. She's such a gentle, like calming person, and I love to watch her videos. Another creator that I'm really inspired by is Alia Zayta. Now, probably butchered that name. She has a similar style to Moya, but her videos are a bit more bright and a bit more like American living kind of style, where Moya's European. I really like her videos. She's really inspiring. It's always such an easy watch. It's just like the overall aesthetic of her videos are just absolutely amazing, and she's like really like productive, and she's a student, and it's just like really really easy to watch. She has an amazing personality as well. Okay, another channel that I really like watching, her name is Rachel Catherine, and she is an Australian YouTuber. She does weekly vlogs, and I really just like putting on her videos like in the background if I'm doing something. Like if I'm doing the dishes, like I'll chuck one of her videos on. If I'm like doing something else and I want to listen to something in the background, she's just like really calm, and like the video is just like really basic. It's not like a full-on production kind of thing, and it's just like really calming. And then the last one is a kind of a recent discovery for me, and I can't believe that I have just discovered this YouTube channel. You guys are all probably subscribed to them, and you're going to be like, Abby, you've been literally living out of a rock. I know. And this channel is Yes Theory. I absolutely love the whole concept of this YouTube channel. It's about seeking discomfort and saying yes to new adventures, to meeting strangers, to pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. And I just really love every single thing that they're doing, like, and what they're putting out into the world. I think it's a really great message, and by watching their YouTube videos we can learn a lot as like a society. There we have YouTubers. I have so many more, like obvious ones like Cara and Nate, Beck and Eamon, all that kind of thing, but these are just like my top little recommendations for winter. Next, we're going to talk about TV shows. Recently, I just finished the new episode of Selling Sunset. Absolutely obsessed with that TV series. Like, it's so dramatic and bitchy, and I love it. And I love seeing inside like the $1 million houses. Basically, it follows the story of like real estate agents within Los Angeles in the Oppenheim group. And yeah, it's just like a lot of drama, lots of money, lots of nice houses, and yeah, just totally hooked on that show for some like really random reason. Emily in Paris. The new season is actually coming out on the 22nd of December, and I am so freaking excited, like just in time for Christmas and everything. I'm sure I'm gonna smash that one out. So basically, this TV show follows a girl called Emily who is from America and moves to Paris to work in a fashion house. I do criticize this TV series a little bit for portraying like French people or Parisians in general just in a bit of like a stereotypical way. And I was talking to some French friends about this, and they were just like, you know, that's not how Parisians are, that's not how French people are. And I do agree with them, but in general I think the storyline is just really it's like Gossip Girl, you know, it's really easy to watch, and yeah, I like it. And it's also really nice to see like the sights of Paris and to see some cultural things like thrown in the mix there. And no, people don't eat croissants for breakfast every single morning in France. Total myth that you'll see in the series if you watch it. Other ones that I want to talk about, which are pretty obvious, would be You. Just finished that, loved it. Just finished Good Girls, thought that was a really good comedy, easy to watch, chuck on at the end of the day, mind-numbing kind of TV, love it. Also, some French ones that I really like would be Lapin and Family Business, two French TV series that I highly recommend, especially if you're learning French, because they have like a lot of slang, a lot of interesting words, and I learnt some cool expressions in both of those TV series, so definitely check them out. Both crime-based. Lapin follows like a robber, but like a robber like stealing like $1 million jewels and stuff like that. And then Family Business follows a family who accidentally gets into growing weed, and it's just like really funny. It's a bit of a comedy. Absolutely love it. You'll definitely pick up some French words with both of those two series. As for movies, I'm not really a big movie person. I've probably watched maybe 3 movies this whole entire year, but recently I watched Black Widow, which is one of the newest Marvel Avengers movies. I really liked this movie, and it's like a movie that you can watch having not watched the Avengers or not even really been into superheroes or anything like that. It's more about a spy, and it follows like a Russian spy who is in the Avengers team. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. It's just like a really good movie that follows a Russian spy. I really liked how it was made. Even if you don't like the Avengers, it's a good one to watch. Now I just have like some others in the others category that I thought that I would share with you, because it's all like winter vibes and stuff. And the first thing is mulled wine. You guys know, if you watch my vlogs, like I'm always going out for mulled wine. It's such a winter essential if you're living in Europe. Like you have to try it. So basically it's just hot wine. It doesn't really taste like wine, kind of tastes like this sweet alcoholic drink. Love it, can't recommend it enough, especially if you're at the Christmas markets. It's like everyone at the Christmas markets is drinking mulled wine, at least in Annecy, and it's amazing. That leads to the next thing is Christmas markets. If you're in Europe, get to the Christmas markets as much as you can. I am not a big Christmas fan myself. It's definitely not something that I'm really like overly enjoy celebrating. I don't have a Christmas tree or anything like that, but going to the Christmas markets really gets me in the Christmas mood. Like I absolutely just love it, and I'm going to be filming a vlog this week, and I'm going to the Christmas market, so I can't wait to show you guys as well. Other things that I wanted to share, and I'm going to leave these recipes linked down below, and that is some French recipes. So the first one is tartiflette, really easy to make at home. It's basically a cheese dish with potatoes, like what more do you want in winter? Cheese and potatoes. And then the second recipe is cauliflower soup. You guys have probably seen me making cauliflower soup on the channel before. So cauliflower soup is just like such an essential for me throughout winter. Unfortunately, Killian broke our blender, so I'm on the hunt for a new blender. If you guys are living in France and you know where I can get a cheap, good one, please leave a comment below so I can make cauliflower soup again. That's going to wrap up all my winter recommendations. I hope you've got some good recommendations out of this video. I absolutely love watching these videos myself. I love just like discovering new things, and I hope you guys have in this video today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!